Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on forgotten weapons. I am here today in Romagne in France at the Romagne 1418 World War I Museum. And this is really entirely different than pretty much any other museum out there. This is a private museum, which is, I think, part of what makes it so cool. A private museum like this can do anything it wants, and it's not subject to oversight by boards of directors and standards of the profession, which may sound like a bad thing. But what this means is the proprietor here assembled this thing entirely on his own. Everything in here is a found artifact of World War I from within 3 miles of the site of the museum. So, sorry, it's a little dark in some of these rooms. There are a couple little reconstructed, bunker type rooms, a barracks room there. But the rest of the museum is a collection of something like 300,000 individual items that have been collected off the battlefield here. And people are still finding this sort of stuff today because there was so much detritus of war left over from World War I. So the amount of stuff here to see is just really staggering. You have to slow down and take a close look at any particular place. So let me do that for a moment. We have here a machine gun shield with the remnants of an .08 Maxim. Ammunition belts. You can see the German ammunition can there that's divided in 2 halves. You carry 2 separate belts in it at the same time. The wall here is a whole selection of barbed wire and the stakes used to hold it in place. When you look at these things up close, you'll start to see differences in construction and different elements to the different nationalities of barbed wire. Entrenching tools. We'll come back to the firearms in just a minute, but there's a very nice selection there. This is one very large room. As we continue upstairs here, let me get into a little bit better light for you. Canteens, kitchen implements of all sorts. There's basically nothing labeled here. This is an example in my mind of the old school type of museum where there are an absolute massive number of artifacts on display. Where the new style of museum is a much more curated, like a deliberate experience sort of thing, where they want to direct you through like an emotional understanding of an event. It's kind of like a 3D Wikipedia article. And what we have here is the polar opposite. We have helmets. Sorry, I'm going to try and focus on places where the light's a little bit better. Medical implements, all sorts of just the little small things that were involved. Soldiers' rings, belt buckles, another helmet down there. And this is one of those places where I guess I want to say the more you know coming in, the more you'll benefit out of a place like this. Once you start recognizing the things that you're looking at, it's really cool to see museums like this still surviving. You know, if you take these artifacts to a modern museum, none of these would really pass muster. None of them would be worth putting on display unless the museum was attempting to create a specific, a little poignant element of battle-damaged artifacts. Most of what they want to have in the museum, and I understand why, is in good condition. Something that shows you what the artifact looked like, at the beginning, when it was made. This is the exact opposite. This is kind of a reminder that this is what war does to things. You look at the rifles in here with bent barrels and destroyed components. Speaking of which, why don't we head back downstairs and let's take a quick look at that wall of rifles. All right, back down here. We have a whole selection here. We have obviously a lot of Mausers. The center ones, if you look at the nose cap area, these are German Kar 98 AZ carbines. We have a Steyr M95 straight pull rifle there. I don't know how exactly that got here to Romagne, but it did. Lebels, long Mausers. We have a 5-round Berthier up there, bayonets, some US rifles, Lebel at the top, but then some Springfields, some 1917 Enfields. We'll ignore that one that's actually a hunting rifle there in the middle. A Walther, I believe that's a Model 4 pistol. Down at the bottom here we have a selection of Chauchats, including an American Chauchat. Vivian Bissiere grenade launchers, some Chauchat magazines, Hotchkiss clips. And then if that wasn't enough firearms, here are the extras that there wasn't enough space to put up on the wall. French telescope, could be a 37mm gun, could be a Lebel sniper. And a wide selection of shell casings. It's part of a German Minenwerfer. So, if you find yourself in France, in Romagne, this is a really cool museum to come and take a look at. There is also the second largest American cemetery, military cemetery in Europe, is here. So if you're in the area, this is kind of out off the beaten path. So I would recommend take a look at the museum and stop by the cemetery as well. And this will give you a truly impressive idea of a different aspect of the war than most museums. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, by the way, the beer is for the restaurant here. You can stop here for lunch. Not original archival beer. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'd also like to thank MHT, Military History Tours, for making this visit possible for me.